named Stanley.
Right.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Right.
Employee number 427's job was simple.
Don't you just say
He sat at
right,
his
Paul.
desk in room 427.
Well, this
and he
gentleman's
pushed buttons
talking,
on the
so I don't want to talk over him.
Orders
That's
came to him
rude.
through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how to push
Right.
them, and in what order. This is
Stop
what
saying right,
employee
Paul.
427
Say something
did
concise.
every day of every month of
Uh,
every year.
Oh, I've got
And
wind
although
out about
others
that,
might
Cecil.
have
Look at
considered
that
it
keyboard.
sordid, Stanley relished every
Texture on
moment
it's
that
gone
the
wrong.
orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, that's nice. It's good to get job satisfaction. Yes.
And then one day something very peculiar happened.
Right.
Something that would forever change Stanley.
Oh dear.
Something he would never quite forget.
He pooed himself.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one
One-
single
oh,
order
dear.
had arrived on a monitor for him to follow.
Oh.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Hi.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This
Complete
isolation.
isolation.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Go on, Paul.
Oh, I didn't realise it was me controlling it. I thought it was a cutscene.
No, it's got a doctor's bag.
Or a vet bag. That's the kind of bag vets have, Cecil.
Is it?
Yes. Excuse me. Oh, knocked the plate on the floor. Just get it.
Steady on, Paul.
I'm sorry, Cecil. I can't help it. I'm a bit awkward sometimes in my chubby bum.
More than a bum, Paul. It's your stomachs and your man boobs.
Yeah, sorry. Right, here we go. Oh, that's nice. Monitors there, right? Let's have a little wander.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge.
Did
check on
he?
his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself.
No.
And constantly needed support and guidance
Oh,
from others.
not like me, eh,
The
Cecil?
thought of total solitude was
No.
terrifying to him.
You crave solitude, Paul.
I do, that's right, so much so that I like
When
to play.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Yeah.
he entered the door on his left.
Well, that's handy because I was going that way anyway. I like to play that game with the cards, Cecil.
What, Snap?
That's right, I like to play Snap on my own. I think it's nice.
Stanley
It's
entered
very
the
easy.
lounge. He was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Paul, give us your horrified now you've had acting lessons.
Alright then, just get into character. I'm Stanley, I'm 42. Oh no, there's no one here! I'm horrified!
Very good, Paul, yes. You should just say what emotion you're feeling. That way everybody knows. You don't have to
Coming
emote
to a
it.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That's handy as well, because I was going that way as well. Sir Alan Sugar, are you here, sir?
Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
Ooh.
no indication of any human.
Oh, there's no one
It
here!
was at this
Oh, I'm
point that he began
stunned!
to feel dizzy and a little sick. He
I
even thought he might pass out when
No.
suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the phone.
did notice a
in the corner
keypad.
of his boss's office.
Seven
Stanley
seven
had
seven
never
seven
seen
seven
this
seven
panel
seven seven.
before and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any result.
Well, let's put in
fact,
his
Only
numbers.
Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret. And so he had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college.
Oh,
1957.
how much?
But of course, Stanley couldn't
No.
possibly have known this.
Paul, I hope you wrote that down because I cannot remember that.
It's a good job I've got an photographic memory, Cecil. 1 9. I can't push the buttons. Oh, what was it, Cecil? 1 9. 4 7.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
1 9
Trying to
7.
input anything on the keypad
Ah,
was useless,
1
since he
9.
would never possibly know that the combination was 1957.
It's you, Cecil, prodding me in the
Yet
temple.
incredibly, By simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley
Does this
happened to
guy think
input
he
the
is
correct
Cecil?
code by sheer
I think he
luck.
thinks it's the narrator from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Stanley
Galaxy
ventured forth
television
into the
program
newly
from the
opened
mid-80s.
passageway.
I remember that with the Arthur Dent, that gentleman with two heads. Oh, very good. Here we go, down the steepy steps. Oh, it's SCP-17 containment breach again. Oh, dear.
As he drew deeper into the bowels of the building,
Bowels, it says bowels,
Stanley
Paul.
had no idea where he was
Yeah.
or what
What?
this place held.
Oh.
And just as he began to think he might not discover a thing, he emerged into a long room to
Right.
find
Thought I heard, nude, tap dancing, along with Sue Pollard, bosoms expert. Oh,
rows and rows of monitors,
right.
screens with a number above it. Stanley noticed, however, that these were not random numbers.
No, they're
A
not.
number
They're
of
in
employees who
sequence.
worked in the building,
The secretary.
his co-workers,
They're not, Paul. Shut up.
even his own number, 427,
527.
had a place on the wall.
Oh,
Why was
erotic.
the setup so elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance, or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the door slid open before him,
Well,
revealing the ultimate truth of the situation.
it's more than simple
An
surveillance, Cecil.
enormous control panel, Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery.
Oh, no.
Buttons were labeled with emotions.
Happy.
Happy,
Sad.
sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions. Walking, eating, doing work.
I know a knob
or
that
watching
controls
TV.
action, Cecil.
Every
Don't be
input on this
dirty.
device
I wasn't being
monitored
dirty, I was
not the
being
functions
nasty,
of the
Cecil. I meant
machine,
you. You
but the
control my
human
actions and you're a bit of a knob
and the
sometimes.
reality began to sink in. Stanley,
Ow!
like so many other
There's
people,
no need for that.
reduced to images on a monitor,
What's you being
had
rude?
been under someone's control.
Oh, that really stings my
always at
thigh,
the
Cecil.
mercy of this machine.
Well, you shouldn't be wearing
Could this
shorts.
have been the only reason employee number 427 was content with his boring job? That a machine
I
had
think it
altered
was.
his emotions to accept it blindly.
I've missed a bit now, but
He
what?
began to feel an unbridled rage.
Oh,
At the peak of his anger,
oh,
something
oh,
happened.
oh, I'm furious.
Spark.
Oh,
Stanley looked up and saw the
resonance
generator
cascade.
overhead, still providing some small amount of power to the
is
machine,
it now?
keeping it alive. And
Right.
knowing that this generator was all that kept the controls running, Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and
Did
began
it?
to climb towards the rafters.
The rafters.
That's rafters, Paul. We're from the north. Oh, that's a bit quick.
It's a bit nippy. The Stanley Parable, of course. Is this in the Bible, Cecil?
I've no idea, Paul.
The higher Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
I think it's in Corinthians 3:15 or whatever.
Right.
Don't know, Cecil. I don't know allegories. What have you?
Well, never mind then.
Oh. Well. But he's not in a wheelchair, so I'd have to... What do I do, oh biddy boy? Oh, I'm turning it off. Oh. My narrator in my head didn't say anything about that. Oh. Oh, blackness. Ominousness. Eroticness? Yeah, blackness, that's
Power
what I said.
gone,
Power gone.
all alone.
Oh no.
And then
Gibbons. Naked, priapic Gibbons. Thrusting at you. Just raping you to death.
Paul!
Oh, Cecil, I was being bleak. Bleak imagery there from me. Oh. Well, no. I'm not going out there, it looks a bit draconian. A bit draconian from you, Cecil. Oh, I have to.
Go on, Paul. Have a little walk.
Ah, I'm timid. Like
as he stepped through the
Oh.
door into the fresh outside air,
I feel
a feeling of
liberated.
liberation rushed through
Oh.
Stanley's body.
Oh,
He had seen power. He had seen enslavement.
have
and
I?
he had destroyed it.
How sexy.
The underling was in control now.
It's not Paul.
He had found his leading role.
But what happened to
Stanley
everybody?
never discovered why everyone had gone missing,
Oh,
nor how and when he had come under the machine's control.
Oh, where is
But
he?
it didn't upset him terribly,
Huh.
because he knew that this was how things were meant to happen. All
right.
he felt was a delight unlike any he had ever known before.
Ooh.
Never again would he follow someone else's orders without question.
Unless he already
Never
is
again
following
would
somebody
anyone tell
else's orders.
Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
He's flying like.
No more bosses.
Maybe he's.
No more instructions on a screen.
Huh?
Stanley decides for himself now.
Right.
And he stepped out into the world,
He's
and
flying.
he felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
I don't understand what's happening, Paul.
And Stanley was happy.
Give us your happy, Paul.
Yay, I'm happy.
Very convincing.
It's nonsensical. It's a bit ominous. A bit ominous, say you say, y'all.
Oh, you Americans coming along perfectly as well, yes.
Well, gee, well, of course, thanks.